What's up, motherfuckers? Inglewood here. Yeah, we're gonna do re. Oh, they're not gonna fucking read it? Come on, guys. Bullshit, I'm trying to cast this. Alright. Whatever. We'll go with it. Alright. Hi, it's Inglewood here from Killing Esports, recording a fuck-up game of StarCraft 2. And in this fuck-up game, we have a red Zerg named Barcode in the southwest position of some map that I've never casted on before and don't know the name of. He's squaring off against a blue Terran in the northeast position named WarCrime. And this is a remake of a remake. And this was also a fuck-up. It was supposed to be random versus random. But during the remake of the game, the previous game, the speed was set to fast instead of faster. And so they remade. And instead of being random, WarCrime was accidentally Terran, and they're just going to fucking roll with it, I guess. So, anyway, here we are. ZvT on shit map, Central Banana Phone Republic. And we're going to see what happens here. The Terran, WarCrime's walling off the top of his ramp. We see the standard barracks surrounded by supply depots coming down to ward off any early aggression that might be coming from a Zerg, which he happens to be facing off against, unbeknownst to him, since this was a random player. And the Zerg's actually going to go 15 hatch. And I don't believe we had a pull down yet. No, so 15 hatch first, out of Barcode, liney line, ill. And so that's going to be fairly standard out of both players. Gas came down, I don't remember when because I'm fucking drunk, and this is Killing Esports, and we don't care about your enjoyment of esports here at Killing Esports. We just, I don't know, we show games, we mismanage the mini-map, we don't show you anything. WarCrime scouts out with an SCV, he's going to see the Overlord here, he knows he's facing off against a Zerg, and that's not going to alter his plans all too much since that guy is committed to scoping out the enemy. And I think I'm going to take this opportunity, while not a lot is going on, to pitch Killing Esports. We're a YouTube channel, or at least we used to be. Two guys, Inglewood and Snurdaperds. We cast RTS, we do some Dota 2, we do some StarCraft 2. Oh, we got a bunker, shut me up. We got a bunker coming down here from WarCrime. He's going to do a bunker rush, I guess. Couple Marines gonna be coming out. I don't know. Yeah, okay. 2 racks at the top of his ramp, and he's gonna be rallying those Marines straight across the map, to try and get some early pressure. And Barcode, the Zerg, is gonna pull workers off the line and try and get rid of this SCV constructing the bunker before it is able to get up. A couple of Zerglings pop out, and that's actually gonna ward the Terran away completely. Reaper comes across the map, is trying to do a little bit of damage here to buy some time for that SCV to finish construction, and he will get busy doing just that. But once again, workers are pulled, the Lings are pulled, and now a Queen pops out who's going to help tremendously for the Zerg to push this away. So the SCV was warded off, the bunker was indeed cancelled, and this early aggression has been thwarted. So not too much of a commitment here by the Zerg player Barcode to push away WarCrime, but he does manage to do so. Meanwhile, a couple of Reapers are left outside the gates, and they're going to come in and see what they can get done. They're not going to get a whole lot done against a Queen and a Spine Crawler, that's for damn sure. So up the ramp into the main they're going to go. Looks like one falls already, and the second one's going to head into the mineral line and try and at least get some mining time wasted by those workers, if not a kill, and he does in fact do so. Some workers come off the line to try and defend him, but a couple of Lings and a Queen are going to push him away, and then he has to retreat back to the natural, where the natural's Queen will in fact finish him off. So Reaper pressure is done and done. Good hold by the Zerg player Barcode. 42 supply to 27 for the Zerg, which we expect a little bit of an advantage for a Zerg player over Terran, but not that much, perhaps. So he's looking in good form. Meanwhile, back in the Terran base, it looks like we've gone Hellion. A couple of factories are now out. A reactor... No, in fact, a tech lab is coming down on one of them. So we can expect some mech upgrades coming out of this factory. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and get nothing. I thought he started something there, but it might have been canceled, or maybe I was just tripping. Command Center number 2 is already under construction and turning into an orbital command that will lift off and land at the Natural in the very near future. That will put the players at 2 base to 2 base. A couple of gas now occupied for WarCrime here at home. 6 SCVs busy mining gas. Meanwhile, Hellions and Marines pour out. On the production tab we see, okay, so Blue Flame is actually being researched. I don't know if that's even called Blue Flame anymore. Infernal Pre-Igniter? Sure, why not? We'll go with that. A bunch of Lings came in here to try and challenge this Terran player, and it looks like they're actually going to get a surround on these Hellions. 1 goes down, 2 goes down, I'm not sure. It looks like they took a lot of damage. That might have been 3 goes down, 4 goes down. I wasn't really paying attention because I don't give a shit. But some Zerglings did come up and pressure the natural base of WarCrime, and they they had a successful aggression there. So 64 supply to 40. 3 more Hellions are going to come down and try and challenge these Lings, and that's not going to end well for the Zerg player. That's the Zergling barbecue. 3 Hellions against 7 Zerglings is a pretty good engagement for a Terran player. He's going to push southwest, head on into creep territory, but some Lings actually get a run by here, and they're going to get past all but one of these Hellions and push farther north, back up to that natural expansion of the Terran player, where there's 1 more Hellion and a couple of Marines waiting, but a whole bunch more Marines pop out, and that will clean up those Zerglings very quickly. So the Zerg player Barcode's looking to press his advantage a little bit, getting shut down there. And that allows WarCrime to go ahead and take his natural expansion. So now we're on 2 base versus 3 base. The Zerg's gone ahead and taken his 3rd, which is about halfway through construction. And we see a big group of Hellions are going to go ahead and poke out into the creep, being brave. And we're going to watch the Zerg try and get us around here with some Lings. And they do mop up those 6 Hellions very, very quickly. And number 7 rolls in late to the party and gets just slaughtered. So we're going to have a 3 base Zerg against a 2 base Terran now. And these Lings are going to press forward. They're going to meet a siege tank in siege mode and a handful of Terrans and a Hellion. And, there might actually be enough Lings here to push forward and kill all of this off. They're on 0-0, but that doesn't matter. With that many Lings, they're going to go ahead and dominate. Up the ramp, they find that there's not a whole lot of places to go, and they actually meet a Banshee. Who does not have cloak, but it's not needed against Lings. So Banshee does finish off this Ling aggression after it does a whole lot of damage, though. Still very much cost effective. 76 supply to 43 now. And I would show you like workers killed and whatnot, but I actually don't remember the hotkeys because it's been about a year since I've cast a StarCraft game. So bear with me. Bunker going to come down at the top of the Naturals ramp here for WarCrime, and he's going to set up a little bit of a defensive posture while he gets base number 2 up and running. His Overlord, Barcode's Overlord, sitting here in the main, is going to go relatively unchallenged, getting some free scouting information. He's going to see a few barracks popping up, see the gas being harvested. Nothing he didn't already know, though. Let's take a look at the Zerg's base. At his 3rd, we got a couple of Queens, bunch of Creep Tumors. Creep spread is looking decent for the 12-minute mark. It started out really nicely. It seems like it's slowed down a bit in the last few minutes, but he's certainly been busy with Ling run-bys and other things. But both gases are occupied at base number 3, base number 2, and base number 1, which is actually being harassed by a Cloak Banshee right now. There's just now getting some detection popping up in the form of an Overlord. 14 kills on this Banshee right now, so cost effective is to say the least. A few Spore Crawlers are now popping up along the Zerg's base to try and defend against this. But that's not going to deter this Banshee from flittering around and doing what he can. So he's actually heading out of the natural right now. He's going to fish around, see what he can get, but gets picked off by a good Spore Crawler there in the middle of the creep. But I believe that was 15 kills on that motherfucker already, so quite an effective Banshee there. We'll see if anything else. Looks like another Banshee is actually being produced right now back at Terran HQ, which is now being fortified by siege tanks and some Thors. So a bit of a mech build coming out of WarCrime. So despite being behind 15 supply or so, make that 25 supply all of a sudden. The Zerg's pumping shit out. Still looking relatively safe on his end of the map, which isn't to say that the Zerg is looking exploited by any means, because he's got a whole bunch of creep spread and some pretty good defense here. Another Banshee just came in and got shot down by the Spore Crawler. So one kill on that Spore Crawler. Not a bad feat. Pretty good worker saturation on these bases. Only 13 at the main base, but those mineral patches are looking a bit light, so it's reasonable to pull workers off of there at that point. Base number 4 is now on the way for Barcode. He has a small mass of lings turning into blings here towards the Terran's end of the world, but I don't know how successful that's going to be, trying to bust a ramp defended by siege tanks and Thors. They will not have easy access to this base. They have to plow through some supply depots at the very least. There is a bunker there. And it's not too awful far for WarCrime to pull some SCVs off the line to try and repair this stuff once the banelings start flowing in. Looks like the Overlord from this group is going to head out and perhaps poke around and try and find some place to exploit. Or maybe not. He might just stop here and linger. Base number 4 is complete for Barcodes, and the creep spread is looking much, much better. Lots and lots of tumors out here. We see some mutas being added to the flock of Zerg units, and it looks like this is going to be like an all push right here. Some lings lead in. Decent split here. Blings split up, but then they get right back together again and plow through the front door of WarCrime. And boom, big old bust takes out a lot of those tanks and a lot of those Thors, leaving one siege tank remaining though. And they're going to head into the mineral line and actually get mopped up. So WarCrime does hold that enormous bust, which was very, very expensive for Barcode. But by the looks of things, he still has a very significant supply advantage. So that was not a bank breaker by any means, and that's not going to be yielding a counterattack for the Terran to exploit. So WarCrime's just going to fortify his defenses back at home and try and continue making some money, call down some mules and keep the minerals flowing. We have a Muta and a Ling here loitering in the northwest, and not a whole lot, just an Overlord here checking out the southeast of the Terran's base. Meanwhile, he's going to push out another Banshee and see if he can't get something done with that. It's got about a half a bar of energy, so it should be able to cloak for a reasonable amount of time if it's not being spotted by Overseers. And I'm not sure if he's going to send that into the 4th base or send that into the natural and just try and get some worker kills. I'll follow that in a minute. In the meantime, a mutaflock of about, 14 is heading out into the middle of the map. That Banshee is cloaked up at the 4th, is going to try and take out a queen, and looks like detection still not available. Some Spore Crawlers are popping up right now, but this Banshee kind of has free reign right now. And that's 8 kills so far already, making it cost effective, making that pay its own fees. That's 9 kills before it gets mopped up by some mutas. So still a bit of an investment by WarCrime, but a worthwhile one, especially when he's in the position of being behind. You got to kind of eke out those benefits where you can get them. The Zerg, meanwhile, is massing up kind of in the middle of the map. We've got some burrowed banelings. I want to make sure before I said something stupid. Burrowed banelings are kind of having a staring contest with the burrowed widow mines on the ramp from WarCrime. And the supply gap has actually gotten away from WarCrime now, 180 to 100. And it looks like Barcode may be actually trying to push his advantage right now while it's still good. Oh, the widow mines actually uproot right now, and they're on the move across the map. This leaves them vulnerable to these banelings. Is Barcode going to lift up and... No, oh, yeah, okay. A couple of them actually go off. 3, 4, 5, 6 of them go off. And he's going to try and get us around on these moving units before they the widow mines have a chance to bury, and they do get good connects there off those banelings. So 172 to 90, still about double the supply of the Terran. And we see a GG. Terran WarCrime taps out, and that's going to be it. So once again, this was meant to be a random versus random, but it wasn't. And this was meant to be a good cast, but it wasn't, because this is Killing Esports. So I'm Inglewood. Thanks for watching. Check us out, youtube.com/KillingEsports. I'll cast some more shit if you like it.